with the debate.
So, can we have some ideas of what an assertion is? So, any hands up? Then I'll choose volunteers. Martin.
I think assertion is a point you want to show through the whole of your argument.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Statement. Yeah, we can have that. Now, anyone for reasoning?
The
Yes?
explanation of the assertion.
Yep.
When you
It
develop.
works. Okay.
Okay, and what do we mean by evidence? You.
There are the facts that it shows that you didn't invent the information.
Okay, the facts, and you.
Ideas or facts.
So we have a common idea of fact. Now let's move on. So, an assertion is a claim that you want to prove. So, for example, this with like what you said is similar a little bit to the point that you actually want to make. That's your statement. That's what you're going to develop further in your argument.
Now, reasoning is what we just did with the exercise of why. It's the logical steps to prove your assertion. So you ask yourself, you begin with your assertion, and you ask yourself why that is true. So that's your reason. I don't
Makes sense. Of it.
Yeah, make sense out of it. Make sense out of your assertion.
So now, does anyone not know what empirical means? So like the evidence is empirical doctrine. What that means is that it is generally accepted. Like what we were saying of facts, like it is something that it's really hard to actually refute because like there's a lot of evidence for it to be true. For example, what Lucia was saying about like non-debatable topics, like this room is yellow, or others like that. Like very hard to refute. Like,
So
accepted.
basically, in general, the argument is built on 3 parts. The first one, the assertion, your basic premise, your statement. Then you follow by the like logical backup, how you want to reason that statement, how you're going to prove that that statement is true, and finally you conclude with a bit of evidence, like how you have this example to back up your reasoning to prove what you're saying is right. So that's the 3 parts to an argument.
This is an example.
Yeah, this is the example Lucia came up with.
Yes.
Her assertion was that reality television celebrates violent behavior. The reasoning behind that was that violent behavior creates drama, and this drama builds tension, which leads to higher and more stable ratings.
Does everyone know what ratings are?
Yeah.
Good. The evidence that you actually gave for this, that there are many national and international examples. For example, this could be backed up for with Esto es Guerra being the most viewed show on Saturdays or things like that. So you just have to like Google it.
Okay. The thing is that after you do the 3-step analysis in your arguments, you always need to come back to the motion to give this last conclusion that links back to the overarching principle that the motion calls for. So that's basically like a diagram representing like what you should do in an argument. So you begin with the assertion and then the reasoning. The reasoning can be divided in three sections. You have the first reason, the second reason, and the third reason, and you provide evidence for each of those reasons. So you have one assertion, you can have 3 reasons, and then you give 1 example per reason.
So there's a reason for all of this, which is, so guys, if you look at this table, how many feet does the table have? 4, right? But if it had just 1, and I managed to get rid of it, what would happen to the table? The table would fall. But a table with 4 feet can stand much better, can still stand even if I take out 1. And some tables, if they're well made and balanced, can still stand even with only 2 feet. So, it's important to have different reasonings so that even if the other team manages to refute part of my argument, I still have something else left that I can still defend. That's why it's important to not just have one reason that's defending my argument, but to try to have several. Yeah?
Why is the